हेलो फ्रेंड्स, इंश्योरेंस अवेयरनेस के डे फर्स्ट में आप सबों का स्वागत है। फ्रेंड्स, मैं आज से आप लोगों के लिए डेली कुछ स्लाइड्स में इंश्योरेंस अवेयरनेस से रिलेटेड इंफॉर्मेशंस लाऊंगा। ठीक है, आज डे फर्स्ट है। फर्स्ट वन, अमिकेबल सोसाइटी ऑफ परपेचुअल एश्योरेंस फाउंडेड इन 1706 इन लंदन इज कंसिडर्ड टू बी फर्स्ट लाइफ इंश्योरेंस कंपनी इन द वर्ल्ड। पूरे वर्ल्ड में फर्स्ट लाइफ इंश्योरेंस कंपनी जो है, इसका नाम क्या है? अमिकेबल सोसाइटी फॉर परपेचुअल एश्योरेंस, जो 1706 में इस्टेब्लिश हुआ था। कहाँ पे? लंदन में। ठीक, हम लोग इंडिया की बात करें, हिस्ट्री ऑफ इंश्योरेंस इन इंडिया। मॉडर्न इंश्योरेंस इन इंडिया बिगेन इन अर्ली 1800 और देयर बॉट्स विथ एजेंसीज ऑफ फॉरेन इंश्योरर्स स्टार्टिंग marine insurance business. Okay, Oriental Life Insurance Company Limited, the first life insurance company to be set up in India, was an English company. Okay, Triton Insurance Company Limited, the first non-life insurance insurer to be established in India. Bombay Mutual Assurance Society Limited, the first Indian insurance company. It was formed in 1870 in Mumbai. National Insurance Company, the oldest insurance company in India. It was founded in 1906 and it is still in business. Okay, in 1912, the Life Insurance Company Act and Provident Fund Act were passed to regulate the insurance business. The Life Insurance Company Act 1912 made it compulsory that premium rate tables and periodical valuation of companies be certified by an actuary. However, the disparity and discrimination between Indian and foreign companies continued. Next one, the Insurance Act 1938 was the first legislation enacted to regulate the conduct of insurance companies in India. This act, as amended from time to time, continues to be in force. The Controller of Insurance was appointed by the government under the provisions of the Insurance Act. Nationalization of life insurance. The life insurance business was nationalized on 1st September 1956 and the Life Insurance Corporation of India was formed. There were 170 companies and 75 provident fund societies doing life insurance business in India. At that time, from 1956 to 1999, the LIC held exclusive right to do life insurance business in India. Okay, next one, nationalization of non-life insurance. With the enactment of General Insurance Business Nationalization Act in 1972, the non-life insurance business was also nationalized and the General Insurance Corporation of India and its four subsidiaries were set up. At that point of time, 106 insurers in India doing non-life insurance business were amalgamated with the formation of four subsidiaries of the GIC of India. Malhotra Committee and IRDAI. In 1993, the Malhotra Committee was set up to explore and recommend changes for development of the industry, including the reintroduction of an element of competition. The committee submitted its report in 1994. In 1997, the Insurance Regulatory Authority was established. The passing of the Insurance Regulatory and Development Act 1999 led to the formation of Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India in April 2000 as a statutory regulatory body both for life, non-life and health insurance industry. IRDAI has been subsequently renamed as IRDAI in 2014. Amending to Insurance Act in 2015, certain stipulations have been added governing the definition and formation of insurance company in India. Okay, an Indian insurance company includes a company in which the aggregate holding of equity shares by foreign investors, including portfolio investors, do not exceed 49% the paid-up equity capital of the such Indian industry company, which is Indian owned and controlled in such manner as may be prescribed. Amendment to the Insurance Act also stipulates about foreign companies in India. A foreign insurance company can engage in reinsurance through a branch established in India. The term reinsurance means insurance of a part of one insurer's risk by another insurer who accepts the risk for a maturity acceptable premium. Okay. Next, हाउ इंश्योरेंस वर्क, इंश्योरेंस काम कैसे करता है. मॉडर्न कॉमर्स वाज फाउंडेड ऑन द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ ओनरशिप ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी. When an asset loses its value by loss of destruction due to certain event, the owner of the asset suffers an economic loss. However, if a common fund is created, which is made of a small contribution from many such owners of similar assets, this amount could be used to be compensate the loss suffered by the unfortunate few. मान लो कि किसी भी कारण से घर जल गई, कार चोरी हो गई, उस टाइम में क्या होता है ना कि कुछ परसेंटेज का लॉस जो होता है वो उसको कंपनसेट कर दिया जाता है. इन सिंपल वर्ड्स, द चांसेस सफरिंग अ सर्टेन इकोनॉमिक लॉस एंड इट्स कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस कुड बी ट्रांसफर्ड फ्रॉम वन इंडिविजुअल टू मेनी थ्रू द mechanism of insurance. Definition: insurance may thus be considered as a process by which the losses of a few who are unfortunate to suffer such losses are shared amongst those exposed to similar uncertain events or situations. Okay, how insurance works. Firstly, these must be an assets which has an economic value. कोई ऐसा एसेट्स होना चाहिए जिसका कोई ना कोई वैल्यू हो, तभी इंश्योरेंस काम करेगा. मे बी वो फिजिकल हो सकता है, चाहे कार या बिल्डिंग. नॉन फिजिकल हो सकता है, नेम या गुडविल हो सकता है. पर्सनल, जैसे ब्लाइंड, वंस आइज, लिम्स एंड अदर एस्पेक्ट ऑफ वंस बॉडी, ये हो सकते हैं. द एसेट्स में लॉस इट्स वैल्यू ऑफ अ सर्टेन इवेंट हैपेंस. दिस चांसेस ऑफ लॉस इज कॉल्ड रिस्क and the cause of the risk is called peril. Friends, note this point. This question was asked. The cause of risk event is known as peril. There is a principle known as pooling. This consists of collecting numerous individual contributions known as premiums from various persons. These persons have similar assets which are exposed to similar risk. The pool of funds used to compensate the few who might suffer the losses is called by peril. This process of pooling funds and compensating the unlucky few is carried out through an institution known as the insurer. The insurer enters into an insurance contract with each person who seeks to participate in the scheme. Such a participant is known as insured. Next one, insurance reduction burden. There are two types of risk burdens that one carries. One is primary burden and second one is secondary burden. Primary burden. The primary burden of risk consists of losses that are actually suffered by households and business units as a result of pure risk event. These losses are often direct and measurable and can be easily compensated by the insurance. Example: when a factory gets destroyed by fire, the actual value of goods damaged or destroyed can be estimated and the compensation can be paid to the one suffered such loss. मान लो कि 10 लाख का, ठीक है, कोई फैक्ट्री था, 10 लाख रुपये लगा था, तो एग्जैक्ट 10 लाख का आपको कंपनसेशन नहीं मिलेगा ना. उसका एक अनुमान लगाया जाए, हाँ कितना का हो सकता है, उसके अकॉर्डिंग आपको सिर्फ कंपनसेशन मिलेगा. इफ़ एन इंडिविजुअल अंडरगोज अ हार्ट सर्जरी, the medical cost of the same is known as uncompensated. In addition, there may be some indirect losses. A fire may interrupt business operations and lead to loss of profits, which also can be estimated, and the compensation can be paid to the one who suffers such a loss. Secondary burden of risk. Suppose no such event occurs and there is no loss. Does it mean that those who are exposed to peril carry no burden? The answer is that apart from the primary burden, one also carries secondary burden of risk. The secondary burden of risk consists of cost and strains that one has to bear. Merely the fact that one is exposed to a loss situation, even if the said event does not occur, these burdens have still to be borne. Let us understand some of these burdens. Firstly, there is a physical and mental strain caused by fear and anxiety. The anxiety may vary from person to person, but it is present and can cause strain and affect a person's well-being. Secondly, when one is uncertain about whether the loss would occur or not, the prudent things to do would be to set aside a reserve fund to meet such an eventuality. There is a cost involved in keeping such a fund. For instance, such fund may be held in a liquid form and yield low returns. By transferring the risk to an insurer, it becomes permissible to enjoy peace of mind. Invest funds that would otherwise have been set aside as a reserve and plan one's business more effectively. It is precisely for those reasons that इंश्योरेंस इज नीडेड. तो फ्रेंड ये था डे 1. आप लोग बताएं कि कैसा लगा, क्या इम्प्रूवमेंट की ज़रूरत है, उसके अकॉर्डिंग मैं डेली आप लोगों के लिए ये क्लास लाया करूँगा 10 से 11 मिनट का. ठीक है, थैंक यू एंड ऑल द बेस्ट.